Dr. Mario 64. And before I go any further, there's going to be something really unique about this video, which is when I initially recorded it, for whatever reason, the Hog rocket that I used to record it, my capture device, it didn't record my my commentary. Well, actually, when I listened to it back, it did, but it recorded it like totally quiet. Like the game music way overshadowed my voice, and I haven't changed any settings on it, so I don't know why it made me so quiet, but it did. So I am re-recording this. I kept the same gameplay, so we still have that intact, but now of course I have to do commentary after the fact. Which in a way it might take something away, because there are a lot of times where I'd have reactions to as I was playing. So you won't have that. Of course, now I'll be able to probably just ramble on about other things while the video just plays, and you never know what I might ramble about. But anyway, Dr. Mario, virtually anyone that's been a gamer for some time has played it at some point. They're familiar with the game. This has some unique modes. You got classic, and then there's story. So they build a story around playing levels. Basically, just head-to-head against the computer. And what's this? There's certain flashing viruses on that one that you have to try to eliminate to win. Viruses multiply rapidly, and then score attack. We have a limited amount of time to get as high a score as you can. So we'll just start in classic mode. I wasn't sure where my skill would be, or how this sets up or something, you know. So I was like, I'll go with level 5. Probably play a few levels before it beats me. And most people are familiar with the fever and chill themes if they've played Dr. Mario in the past. But the cube and the QQ are different. I don't know how many games those maybe have appeared in. This might be the first time, and perhaps they've appeared in future games, I'm not sure. Well, we start out, for those that don't know, probably not too many of you watching this, your object is to eliminate all the viruses in the jar. You have red ones, blue ones, and yellow ones, and the way you eliminate them is you get a line of 4 of the same color, including the virus. And, you know, as long as the virus is part of that chain of 4, it will disappear. It will be knocked out. You can knock out just a chain of 4 pills by themselves, which sometimes you need to do when you start screwing up, which I will do plenty of in the course of this video. Because when you put things, just like Tetris or most other puzzle games, sometimes if you just put one piece in the wrong place, it'll kind of screw up your whole entire flow. And of course you get bigger bonuses for getting multiple colors in a row or in a combination. So if you clear one color and then the pills drop, and the ones that drop complete another color. Not sure. I think I was just putting that one away at that time. See, like right there, I got the yellow, and then it chained and got the blue one in a combo. You know, it's amazing how puzzle games in general can, when you're in the mood for them, they can be so addicting. And yet, even though they're so simple, I mean, the premise here is so simple. But it really does kind of suck, though, the fact that, you know, it didn't get my initial commentary. So I wasn't able to really, you know, in this video now, I'm not able to really communicate what's going on in my mind at that moment, like when I screw up or whatever. So yeah, they kind of detract something from the video for sure. Detracts quite a bit, actually. Now it wasn't like I was doing great commentary to begin with, because games like this require quite a bit of thinking, planning, You know, you're dropping the one pill and you're looking at the next pill and figuring out where it might go, and then you put things in the wrong place and you got to figure out how to get out of it. So, but just from the reaction standpoint, because there were definitely along the way playing this game, I definitely had some reaction. Like right there, I put that the wrong. I don't think I wanted to put that on top. I think I wanted to sandwich that in the middle. Now I got blue. I can't do anything with it at the moment. And there we go. There's a combination to take out a virus. Lots of yellows, so I can definitely stack up them yellows. Not sure why I did that, unless I was thinking about the blue one. That's probably what I was doing, because after that yellow is gone, I'm going to have to stack up and get the blue one, so I'm going to guess that's what I was doing there. And we'll be looking at a couple of different modes here. I can tell you now, obviously, since this is being recorded after the fact, I didn't do the flash viruses mode, but it works the same, except there's a couple of viruses. I don't know how many, but there's a couple in there that are flashing, and those are your key viruses. So it's just trying to find a way to work towards getting towards those viruses that are flashing, eliminating them, and then you're done with the stage. All the rest of them are just there, basically. Of course, you'll need to clear some along the way to get to the one. It looks like I've got a pretty good setup here, and there's a good yellow piece. I'm going to turn that one a long ways, probably. Yep. Oh, that's a real good piece. And there's a double red, which is perfect. No, don't turn it longwise. So we got out of that one. And now it automatically advances us to the next level. There's 28 viruses to get. And just like any puzzle game, it gets just harder and harder and harder as you go. And by the end of all of these parts to the video, the end of my little gameplay session here that I recorded, I couldn't hardly even think anymore. It was, oh my god. I was being too focused for too long. Up on the upper left there, you can see the top score, 24,700. We'll have to see if I catch that or not. Oh man, I'm glad to have my air conditioner back working. For the past week, something was wrong with it, and it was making these like scraping noises, and it sounded like the fan, like it would make this loud scrape and the fan would stop. And so I told the office, and the first guy that came in, he thought there was just a loose bolt in there, which makes sense to what I was hearing. I mean, I'm not a fix-it guy, so I have no idea. Sounded like that might have been a problem. He also changed the filters, because the other filter was really dirty. Could have had a hand in doing something. So we thought that was okay. And it wasn't. The scraping noise continued. In fact, it got a little more intense. And then they came in. One guy came in and he looked at it and he says it needs a new motor that's in it, the main motor. So he pulled that one out and he said he'd be back the next day with it. And it ended up being about 4 or 5 more days. And then finally, what is it, two days ago now from when I'm recording this. And actually it wasn't so much the waiting on the motor, it was the guy that took it out initially. I guess the communication aspect wasn't there. So they just kind of didn't know. So Monday when I was coming home from work, I went in the office and let them know. And you know, it was kind of like news to them. So it was a communication issue, but they got me all resolved. Thank goodness. I hate being hot. But at least I have 2 fans in the living room, and usually I have them on and I have them oscillating. But during that period of time, I had them pointed straight at me at all times. So, anyway, I'm glad to be cool again. I guess that time on the upper left little window there, I guess that's my my combined playing time for however long I go on this. I know how long it is since I'm recording this later, but I'm going to keep that a mystery. I'm advancing up to virus level 7. Where are we starting with? 32. So every level adds 4 more viruses. Which when you start getting this many doesn't sound like a lot, but by the same token it really starts clogging up the jar. You know, what I'm always trying to do when these pills are coming in, especially early on, is I'm trying to locate where each one can fit. I mean, obviously the same color ones, as long as that color you can get to it, you can just turn it upright and pull it straight down, but it's those 2 color ones like that. And sometimes you don't have a spot for them, and so you're going to end up with pieces that will fall, that will potentially block your progress, that you have to clear out on your own. But whenever I have good places to put both, just like that, I can do that and clear them out. And yes, once again, this is strange playing it and recording the video later, because since I'm playing the video through my Xbox, you're going to see Xbox pop up, even though I'm even though this is an N64 game. So kind of a weird little deal, but whatever. You know, like I said, I could have just played it straight out again, but at the same time, I kind of didn't want to. I was just like, you know, the video's good. I'll keep the video. Hey, it's okay to do something different every now and then. And like I say, it gives me a chance to just kind of ramble on. I can just kind of let the game play itself, maybe comment here and there on what's going on, perhaps tell stories, such as meeting a wrestling legend last Saturday, August 27th at Metro Pro Wrestling, which is a local wrestling promotion. Really good. Check them out, metrowrestling.com. They got a Facebook and a YouTube, so you can see a lot of the matches. I'm always sitting front row. But the legend that we had at the show was Ho Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Yes, he was at Metro Pro Wrestling. A very cool guy. He really seemed to enjoy doing the autographs and the pictures and just hanging out with us crazy fans. They had a cool little souvenir. They were doing little 2x4s. And then he autographed the actual 2x4, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I also had another legend that was at the show, and for this legend, it was his 3rd or 4th appearance at a Metro Pro show. Tommy Dreamer, the innovator of violence, and him and Ace Steel. Some of you may know him if you follow the indie scene at all, and even if you don't. There was one time where on WWE on Monday Night Raw, there was just a stupid little one-off match. They were making fun of Donald Trump and Rosie O'Donnell. Some of you might remember it.